share the page, why don't we? There. Max is damp as he drives in the semi. Interior. Beep, beep, beep. Alright. Well, yeah. This is different, like, timing. But he's driving past the house in a neighborhood. And he, it's a POV on him. I want the house to be, like, black. Something like that. This is clearly the house. And we think the whole time, you know, we assume we know where he's going because of our intercuts with Sam, that's going to be it. And this is my idea of subverting expectations. Semi is parked and Max exits. Max crosses the street. He halts, he turns, examining the key fob, and then clicking a button. Whoop whoop. Max is impressed. He twists the doorknob. Max Katie is revealed shining in the light as the door creaks open. He steps into an empty home with total silence. In the longest beat yet, Max stands and observes the empty place. His composed demeanor declines as he ends the beat in an ear-piercing shout. So in the same shot, however long it takes Gibson to act that out, he would just stand there. He would just stand there and maybe twitch a little bit and then end up building to a believable shout. And I would love to see that performed.
I love that.
Interior semi-day. The pit sits, all content in the passenger seat. The windows rolled down, of course. Noises occur off screen, sounding like a door being opened and then shut, a gas can in a gas tank. We then hear pouring off screen. Good boy. The pit, I don't know what else to call him other than that, so I'm just going to...
That works.
I could give him a name, but the pit almost smiles and watches Max walk back to the house. Interior house day, Max pours diesel onto the carpet. He lights a cigarette and takes a deep drag, tossing it onto the mess. Cigarette goes out. Max is taken aback. Exterior street day, Max siphons gas out of a regular car. Neighbor, can I please ask what you're doing? Max Kitty stares. Neighbor, yep, you. Max Kitty shakes his head. Go back inside. Neighbor, 3 guesses as to what I'm coming out with. Max Katie, I'll be long gone. Max Katie enters his home, eyes on Katie. The neighbor's probably bluffing. He's probably not coming back out, but...
Oh, yeah.
And that's
man.
Rough. So, he's going to go and burn the home. Something I'm trying to establish with Max Katie here is that he is not afraid of being seen. And I want that to be noted verbally by the cops. I want them to point out to Sam, we notice he's not fearful of being seen right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is perfectly comfortable being questioned, being approached, being apprehended. He would be the kindest, gentlest, most patient person because of the goal that he has in mind. Was slipping under their radar.
Yes.
No threats to the neighbor. You know, he could just stare. But I don't like that. I think you should say something. Go back inside. Something from Fargo, if you remember this, when Collin Hanks pulls over Billy Bob Thornton, Billy Bob says, you know, you don't have to be doing this. Go back to your car. Oh, I hear you have a daughter. Oh, wow. You know, that type of shit that is believable that a cop would go, okay. And kind of step back and just, like, have that internal whatever Collin Hanks ends up having where he shares with somebody later that happened.
Yeah.
So this is kind of that same feel, even with the Ryan Hurst character, too. Even with Charles.
Oh, yeah.
I love the control that he is wielding in every moment on screen thus far.
Cool.
That he is utterly in control. That is huge.
And I've been, even though there's mess ups with the diesel, he is in control of that situation, absolutely. Even though I'm giving little stuff, this is the first time he's ever used a key fob. And maybe I won't leave it in that specific place. I might put it up earlier, but those little moments I really want to focus on. I would love to give him OCD. I would love to give him and kind of fill in those very small character. I want to be like an art director would be with the background. I want to do that with him and really fill in his character. So that is pretty much everything that I have and thought of this week, except for that email about the boat versus semi, which we don't have to address in this session.
I am. Well, I'm curious enough to. I have to ask about it.
I don't have any ideas. I don't. All I'm thinking is boat versus semi. How that would come to be, no idea. But I would love Duel and Jaws to be prevalent in this duel in the second act.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a challenge that I am very into taking on.
Me too.
Just the pitch of it alone merits the challenge.
All I have is glimpses of action-packed stuff where, like, the semi is just on land but paralleling the boat. Just until something comes to an end there.
Yep.
That's I'm getting glimpses of what would be the case in that scenario.
I can see Sam and Max making eye contact.
I know.
Perspective.
That bitch better not die before we get
this.
I know. None of them, dude. Any of them.
No, yeah, exactly. Any of the big three there.
Nathan had a really interesting. I told him kind of about the third act and what that will lead to, or as far as we've discussed. And he goes, "Oh man, I can just see Mel Gibson shooting, bah, 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 and just like wiping tears and shooting."
Oh.
And that was completely everything I just tried to do. That was such a heartbreaking image for me.
Yeah.
In the fact that this almost isn't his choice, even though it is. This is what he sees as inevitable for himself. So to be just like bah 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 and hating himself for it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I will probably have a crack at Sam with hypothetical Carol, with his inner Carol.
Interesting.
See what I might be able to dig up with that.
And I've drawn a blank for Max right now, so I don't know what exactly I'll be able to focus on. So I think it might just be some heavy revising. I think that's what feels right to me. It's just to go at the top of my 22 pages and just like smooth out.
Yeah.
And whether or not that changes the page count for the better or worse, whatever, it's just probably going to happen. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a full revisit, so that will probably be what I do alongside with editing, and then I will try my best to keep track of anything new that you're not aware of that goes upwards.